to shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
And then there was the sixth game on this sixth day of the week on this Saturday night at East Kentwood. We're glad to bring you East Lansing against Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the sixth game of the Gotta Get It Classic. We're the Prep. His name is Sam Stick Day. My name is Chad Bush. Glad to be with you. We've got a great one in the final. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the reigning state champion, who went for a good battle against IMG, the #1 team in the country, back on Thursday night, taking on East Lansing, who's been one of the most dynamic programs in the state of Michigan the last few years, Stick. They're riding between number 2 and number 4 right now, depending on the poll. This should be a great matchup.
Yeah, if preseason you had to pick who was going to be the state champion and you flipped a coin, heads or tails, you could be right either way. It's that close here, and it's going to be a great matchup tonight. I'm looking forward to this national anthem with a saxophone.
We've got breaking news on Trey McKinney. We'll have it for you when we return. It's St. Mary's and East Lansing from the Gotta Get It right after this.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move, and it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Oh, the G of the game candidate already in the national anthem.
Beautiful.
So we get ready for East Lansing and St. Mary's, a top 3 matchup, top 4 matchup, top 5 matchup, whatever you want to call it. It's a big one.
Top matchup.
A top matchup. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's comes into this, again, off the competitive game on Thursday, but a loss to IMG, 5-point loss for the Eaglets at Oakland University. Stick, we learned a lot about St. Mary's on that night. Trey McKinney had 37 points in that game, and we've got some news on Trey McKinney tonight.
Yeah, Trey McKinney during that game in the third quarter going after a loose ball kind of jammed something on his left hand. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm told it's going to hold him out for about 2 weeks, so he will not be playing tonight. In his place, though, a kid who actually had a nice little breakout game against IMG, and that is Mateen Cleaves Jr.
So a late scratch McKinney, Mateen Cleaves Jr., yeah, you called it. He was your pick to stick, and he did just fine. So Sherrod Barnes at the point guard spot from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Headed to Western Michigan. Mateen Cleaves, Quincy Wright, Isaiah Zip Hines, and Jaden Savory, the starters for Todd Covert, the head coach for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The Trojans of East Lansing. Now they will roll them out like this, a very talented roster for East Lansing under Ray Mitchell. And they've got a big 3 in KJ Torbert, JL Branson, and Cameron Hudson. Hudson's headed to St. Louis. Kingston Thomas rounds out the starting 5 along with Cameron Essel. Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day with you in the 6th and final game of the Gotta Get It Classic. And then there were 6, the final day and the final game. It's been a fun ride, Stick. And what can we look forward to in this one?
You can look forward to just a lot of fun matchups. Like you mentioned, two of the top teams in the state. They're both competitive. They both want to get, for St. Mary's, back to the state championship game. For East Lansing, out to a strong start against St. Mary's so they could get to the Breslin.
That's J.L. Branson. So 2-0 East Lansing out of the Capital Area Conference Athletic Association, the longest conference name in the state. Hines elbow jumper, count it, and we're tied at 2. And somebody better fix that microphone.
The MC needs to turn off their microphone. But great concentration by Orchard Lake St. Mary's, able to knock down that jumper. Even so.
High on the right, this is Wyndham. Topside triple Torbert. He misses off the mark. Isaiah Zip Hines on the run.
And that's what's going to be interesting in this game tonight for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Who's going to take the Trey McKinney shots? Who's going to be the focal point of the offense?
Sherrod missed it, a reset. Thanks to the offensive rebound by that man with a reverse. Stepping up, Jaden Savory, the Michigan State football commit as a tight end, is back in basketball mode.
And he's just so strong underneath the rim. Like he likes the contact. He's able to keep his balance and lay it in.
A state championship under Jermaine Gonzalez as head coach and athletic director just last month or so in football. Eaglets knocked off Byron Center.
And there you go, Savory once again showing his strength, cutting off the baseline. Here you get a nice look at that lay-in, up and under, a little English off the glass.
They really count on him as a big. They also count on Quincy Wright, who's in the game at 6'8", the sophomore, coming into his own. Sherrod Barnes looking for Cleaves on the back door. Hines pops out through the lane, zipping through, throws it up, no, but a foul. And it's going to be a block on the Trojans' number 2. That's KJ Torbert, the son of the former Michigan Stater, Kelvin Torbert.
Man, when I was in high school, Kelvin Torbert's about the same age as I am, and he that guy was probably the highest jumper I still have ever seen in my life. It was almost like he'd jump, and then mid-air, he'd get another extended leap. And there's a look at Trey McKinney, speaking of premier athletes in Michigan.
Trey with that left hand, and next to Todd Covert, and also next to Luke Crichton.
It's good to see that left hand not in a cast or wrapped up or anything, though. So it's probably just something that they're looking after, and it's better to be cautious at this point.
And it's better that it's the left hand, the non-shooting hand, than the shooting hand.
Yep.
St. Mary's by 4, thanks to the quick 4 from Zip Hines. Savory had it, lost it. Recovered by Hudson. Splash City, that's KT Thomas, the 6'5 sophomore, and it's a 1-point game.
That confident shot, too. He was able to square his shoulders and knock that down. This is the young man I'm interested in seeing, Mateen Cleaves Jr.
8 points against IMG, kind of a bust-out game. Signs have been coming, and that's a travel on Savory turnover for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yeah, and St. Mary's, you know they're going to be going through some growing pains during this first quarter to kind of figure it out because, I'm sure there aren't many practices without Trey, and for the past 3 or 4 years, he's been the focal point of the offense.
Yep. Happy birthday, by the way, to Isaiah Zip Hines, 18 years young on this day. Also, happy birthday to Chris Armani Rose, our star cameraman, videographer, editor. He does it all. He's 29 years young today as well. And we're glad to have him. One of the best. Right wing 3, Splash City, back-to-back triples for the Trojans. And this time it comes from J.L. Branson.
Yeah, a little bit of helter-skelter offense there, but able to find a wide-open three-point shot and knock it down. Getting the fans going.
East Lansing with a 2-point lead again. Zip. Back to Savory, 2-man game, works to perfection. Zip with a fine setup as Sharon of the Sugar.
Yeah, and usually you don't like the drop pass to a big man running down the lane because it's so hard for them to get that low, but Jaden Savory with those tight end football hands, he's able to get it.
Whistle, contact in the paint. And they're going to get Savory on the hold. 4:30 left. Tied at 8. Here's another look. At that rip, drive, and the beautiful pass. Hines matched up against Torbert. Kick out three, and it's hit again. 3 straight triples for East Lansing. This time it's Cameron Hudson, the St. Louis Billiken commit.
Yeah, nice high release that he has, and that was a pure jump shot.
And the son of the former Spartan, Andre Hudson. There's a steal by Branson. And Sherrod Barnes hustled back to break up the party before it got a little too wild.
And it was about to bring the top off this gym. You see the strip on Sherrod Barnes, and that's what Sherrod is good at, though. Mr. Never give up on a play, come from behind and get all ball.
Saves a bucket without fouling. Trojans to trigger, baseline right, inbounds to Thomas. Against Quincy Wright, the attack. Kick out corner, the Trojans have been hot from deep. Elbow jumper, no, and out of bounds back to the Eaglets. 4 of 6 from the floor, make it 4 of 7 for East Lansing. St. Mary's 3 of 4.
Yeah, some efficient offense going on both sides of the ball. Zip Hines is going to have a lot on his plate, kind of setting this offense up. I like the 2-man game that they have going with Savory early.
Cameron Essel checks in for the Trojans. Sherrod bumped on his way down the avenue. Tip back Savory, bad luck bounce out, gets his own miss, and puts it back. Savory came to play tonight, and the Eaglets trail by 1.
You know, just padding the stats a little. Free rebounds.
Did you say pad the stat?
Pat the stat.
That pass is, oh no.
It knocked our headphone.
No, that pass knocked out something in our system, but we're still rolling.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's just our headphones, so we're good to go. Everything's broadcasting. I can see the levels working. So Zip Hines with the basketball.
Zip Hines attacks, working against Essel. Topside Quincy Wright. Back to Sherrod, trying to get loose in this game. Axel Newell has checked in for the Eaglets. He has the ball now.
Quincy Wright working hard on the block, trying to post up, and this is where the shot clock's going to come into play.
7 on the timer. Dribble drive, Cleaves puts up the shot, no. Quincy Wright working for the rebound, but 1 out by J.L. Branson. Attack, Essel to the corner, hop, skip, jump, ball loose, picked up and scored by the reserve DQ Stewart, the 6'6 junior. East Lansing by 3, 2:20 left. Topside Sherrod hunting that 3. Splash City for Sherrod as the Eaglets stick their first long ball of the contest.
And Sherrod Barnes, he's worked on his offensive game, and it has gotten better. He struggled a little bit against IMG, so it's good to see him knock down his first 3-pointer of the game.
Tied at 13 until now. J.L. Branson triples. And the story is East Lansing 4 of 5 from the long land. Sherrod of the paint back out to Zip, and he walked with it. Eaglets turn it over for the 3rd time in this game.
Yeah, Zip just a little too excited, but let's get a look at this 3-pointer. Just with confidence, the step back. He already knocked 1 down, that one right in the defender's face. Turn around, let Todd Covert know about it.
Yeah, Branson, get a little verbal. Crichton will check into the Eaglet lineup. Luke Crichton at 6'4", the junior, the Indiana commit for baseball. Zip Hines gets a rest. Sherrod Barnes gets a rest. Peyton Kemp checks in for the first time tonight. He has Division I offers. 3-ball, no good. Stick back is good. KT Thomas with some bunnies in EK.
Yeah, KT Thomas stepping in and cleaning up the garbage with some authority. Got this gym buzzing right now.
Cleaves. Down low to right. Quincy, no, but a whistle and a foul, and he'll earn a shot at the stripe for a couple.
And Quincy has been begging for that ball down low, so you know he's going to be aggressive when he gets it. But here you get a nice look, little step back. Ah, interesting. Pretty good. That's some talent right there to play basketball backwards.
Well, it's getting late. You guys are like playing records backwards. That's like bad luck where I come from. It's not Ozzy Osbourne, is it? This is Quincy Wright. Here's another look at the missed three, but the stick back flush by KT.
Gosh, look how high he got.
Call him Kingston when he makes plays like that. That's his birth-given name.
Touch the top of that paint.
Good touch from Quincy Wright, the 10th grader for St. Mary's, the 6'8" Division I prospect. Eaglets are a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line. East Lansing has yet to go to the stripe. Dribble drive, Branson. 17-foot jumper in and out. Tough luck pop out for Cameron Hudson. Nice looking shot.
Yeah, all of his shots have looked beautiful coming out of his hand.
PK Peyton Kemp open for three. Back heel out, no. Axel Newell has a reset. And a pass down to Quincy Wright, who dribbles it out of bounds.
Yeah, his foot was on the line there. Don't love that offensive possession for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. You know, we talk about shots that you can get anytime. A forced three-pointer is what you can get anytime. You'll see just a foot on the baseline right there. Half a foot, but it still counts.
Yep. Essel up the court, 5'11" senior working against Peyton Kemp, the sophomore. 7-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. Trojans go 2 for 1. And that's KT Thomas again, the sophomore, who's been the best player in this first quarter.
Yeah, he has come to play today. 7 points already with a rebound that led to a dunk. He's having a good time.
Newell to Crichton for a corner three. It's long. Quincy Wright fighting for the rebound, but Cameron Hudson has it with 8 seconds to go. Hudson to the hole, layup no, tip back no, 3 seconds, lay back good. Who else? Kingston Thomas at the horn. The Trojans with a 7-0 run to end the first, and Thomas the lead source of the fuel.
Yeah, there you see just offense leading to more offense. Offensive rebounds, got to put a body on someone and box them out, or that man, Kingston Thomas, is going to kill you all day long.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Well, East Lansing's been a strong program for quite some time now, and they're really rising as of late. But they've got several notable alums, including Brandon Johns, former Michigan Wolverine, also transferred to VCU, played for the Rams, All-Atlantic 10, first-teamer, 4-star coming out. But hey, look, state championship in 2008, excuse me, semifinalist in 2008, state champion in 1958. But they're under great, strong leadership in Ray Mitchell, their bench boss. East Lansing a threat to win the state title this year. There you see Coach Ray Mitchell, well respected. Is assisted by Michael Johnson and John Schweitzer, along with Lavelle Bland and Neil Miller. St. Mary's right to left, trailing by 7. Zip Hines missed from close range. Trojans falling out of bounds, threw it away. Sherrod Barnes fouled after he stole it by Cameron Hudson.
And just looking at some of these stats from the first quarter, 4 of 6 from the three-point line for East Lansing, shooting 66%, 56% from the floor. St. Mary's only 1 of 3 and only 5 of 11 from the field.
Remember, it was the Eaglets that was hot from downtown, 8 for 11 in the first half from downtown against IMG on Thursday night. Ball is saved at midcourt by Savory. Quincy Wright with a two-handed flush from the baseline. Oh, the attack from the 10th grader. And now a steal for PK. Kemp on the run, 4-on-2, kick to the corner. Sherrod for 3, in and out, no. But Savory gets held on the rebound.
Yeah, and that is where St. Mary's can do some damage with Savory and Wright out there at the same time. It's kind of like they're twin towers, and they can dominate the glass. You're seeing Quincy Wright down there. Not quite a clean flush, but it still counts as 2 and looks good.
And look, those guys were playing against 6'8", 6'8", 6'10" back on Thursday night. They're probably like, wow, we get a break tonight. Only going against 6'6" and 6'5". That's a foul on St. Mary's. They're going to get Savory. He pushed off on KT and got busted for it.
The official with the aggressive call on that. There's a look at it.
Yeah, a little too much.
It's the extension of the arm. You don't extend the arm, that's not getting called.
Yeah, he liked that call, didn't he?
Yeah, he went in.
5-point game, 7 minutes left, just underway in the second quarter. Stick around at halftime. We'll talk to Mateen Cleaves Sr. This is Mateen Cleaves Jr. ahead to Peyton Kemp. Left-hand layup, missed it. And the rebound pulled off by J.L. Branson.
Yeah, just got a little too far underneath the hoop. It's tough to hit it from that angle.
This time a dribble drive, short corner runner. He showed the 3, and Branson used it against the Eaglets and scores it with a glider.
Yeah, tough to hit from that angle as well, but he did. that's the difference in the scoreboard right now.
Branson with 10 to lead the building. Savory down the avenue. Had it stripped. Eaglets thought he was fouled. Clean play, say the Trojans, and the Zebras alike. That's Wyndham, short with a shot. Eaglets get the rebound.
Yeah, fast-paced game that St. Mary's usually doesn't quite get into, but, you know, without Trey McKinney, they're still trying to figure out what their identity is going to be, and it looked like they were trying the up and down there for a little bit.
Again, if you just joined us, no Trey McKinney tonight, but it is Zip Hines night and his birthday, and Zip's the leading character right now in this show for the Eaglets. He's got 8 points. Give him 6, rather. The 6s and the 8s start to get blurry after 6 games. Baker up and good. That's B.J. Wyndham. This team's got more initial nicknames than any team I've seen in the history of high school basketball or in sports at collegiate or pro level.
They got a BJ, a KJ, a JL, a KT, a DQ.
Hines directing traffic. 5 minutes to go. East Lansing by 7. This is their largest lead.
Peyton Kemp seeing a lot of minutes in this game.
And that's a timeout. Todd Covert, he knew his team was lost. And timeout for the Eaglets. We'll keep it right here. Let's get a look at the bench boss for the Eaglets, Todd Covert. In his 10th year. Want to thank our friends at Greenbrier for all the great work that they've done. They're a big sponsor, and they're also the Gotta Get It Player of the Game sponsor. It's Greenbrier, America's resort, a world-class resort and national historic landmark set among West Virginia's majestic Allegheny Mountains. And we're excited to take a little visit down there to West Virginia. We got a couple of foursomes ready to rock for May. We're going to talk to Mikey, but I think May's a good time to go. That's Todd Covert. He could golf in his day. He still can. Scratch golfer, golfed at Oakland U. Todd won the Coach of the Year last year, led the Eaglets to the Promised Land. See Brad Crichton, one of his assistants to his left, and the head girls basketball coach. They're undefeated. Cleaves for 3, no. Tipped out and ripped away and tapped away by Torbert. And he gets hit with a block by St. Mary's. It'll be a defensive foul. It'll go on Zip Hines.
And that last possession for St. Mary's is really the first time the shot clock came into play. Yeah, they had to force up the shot from the corner, resulting in the miss.
Hook shot short. Quincy cleans it up. East Lansing still by 7, 4.5 to go in this first half.
Yeah, and East Lansing's looking supremely confident in this game.
Cleaves from 17 off the glass, no. Stolen away by Wyndham. Here come the Trojans.
I cannot tell you the last time I saw an off-the-glass mid-range jump shot attempt at the high school level. That is old school basketball from Mateen Cleaves Jr.
Have you met his father?
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's good to see those things still happen.
Sure is.
And it's good to see things like that flying across the lane, a one-handed push layup for KJ.
This is the largest lead for the Trojans of 9. Kemp is bumped at the top of the key. That'll be team foul number 4 for East Lansing as they'll make a substitution. Here's another look at that rip and drive and float job.
That's just incredible to be able to get that shot off while you're flying through the air and be able to understand the physics of how to push it back against your momentum and get it. That's the beauty and the art of basketball that I don't think a lot of people on the surface understand.
Ultra athletes going at it here today. Sherrod, one of those, flips it up, wanted the foul, didn't get it. And now the Trojans have a run out. And that is a lay-in.
I mean, there's bodies all over the place and no whistles called. I'll take it. I like that kind of basketball. I just hope the officials stay consistent with it.
Kemp went to take the charge, but Branson got the roll in. 11-point lead right now. Trojans jump well ahead. Quincy Wright down low. Cleave's shot was blocked. Sherrod Barnes battles for it, but it's won out by KT. Kick to the corner, 3 balls long. Kemp with a rebound.
Yeah, East Lansing happy pushing the ball, driving the lane, and kicking it out for those 3-point shots. They are playing aggressive basketball on both ends of the court.
Kemp, good ball reversal. Sherrod to the rack, lays it in and out. Tough luck miss for 0, and the Trojans come out with a stop.
Yeah, if St. Mary's wants any chance of competing in this ball game, they're going to have to start knocking down some jumpers, and you see Todd Covert bringing in an answer to that right now with Mr. Creighton coming off the bench.
We'll take a timeout with them. 2:31 to go until the break. Right now, it's East Lansing in a top 5 matchup in the state. No Trey McKinney. East Lansing doesn't care. They're out for blood tonight.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate!
Well, the Eaglets 7-4 on the year, 3-1 in league play. And that one loss was to UD Jesuit, state champions from a year ago. Runners up in 23. And Kalen Lucas, one of their most famous alums, 5-time state champions, are the Eaglets of Orchard Lake, co-divisional, 900 students of boys and girls. But they're separate, they're divided, but on the same campus. A unique thing in this state. Other states do it. Missed jump shot. Eaglets needed their stop. Down 11 with 2:10 to go.
Yeah, in St. Mary's we were talking, they need to have some knockdown shooters. I mean, East Lansing is plugging the lane, collapsing every time. So if St. Mary's doesn't start hitting some jump shots, it's going to be a long day.
Quincy Wright contains, misses the bunny, and the Eaglets have had a tough time finishing at the rim.
Yeah, great defense by Cameron Essel down there. A little outmatched in size, but not in fight.
No, sir. Barnes is up for the rebound. The Eaglets have actually, well, they've been outshot in this game, 52% to just 30. Floater from Hines is short.
Yeah, East Lansing is in full control of this game right now.
Baseline runner stolen away. 3-on-2 developing. Peyton Kemp running out. Missed the shot, had it blocked, but a foul. And they'll get the foul on Branson. And PK will go line left and shoot 2.
Well, that was a great lead pass by Zip Hines, getting it out in front of Peyton Kemp. And if Peyton Kemp makes this layup, I don't think they call the foul. It was a little late whistle, but they're giving him a chance to earn it at the stripe.
Yep. So Kemp, who did not play last year, was injured, sat the year out. A sophomore, intelligent player, has good pace to him. Guy they're going to need this year, and they're going to need him especially without Trey, who could be out for the next couple of weeks from what we understand.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody's got a chance to step up and put their stamp on the #1 team in the state and say, you know what, I'm going to take the reins for a couple weeks. It's a good challenge to have if you're a competitor and you want that type of thing. You're going to find out who wants it here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Kemp splits the pair. Pass down low to the big boy. DQ Stewart with a slam as we go under a minute to go in the half.
That was a hockey assist pass. 2 men touched it within like 0.5 seconds. It resulted in that beautiful play. Man, East Lansing has come out with everything they have. Watch this touch right there. Absolutely beautifully misdirected by Kelvin Tolbert Jr.
Thoughtful pass. Hines will go to the line and shoot a couple.
Just incredible vision to be able to do that.
Zip, the senior, guy who's going to play at the next level. He did miss a few games this year. Back in early January. But they need him now. He hits both free throws here. It's back to a 10-point game stick.
Yeah, big possession here. Last possession pretty much of the first half. So St. Mary's can get a stop. That would be huge for them to only be down 10 going into halftime.
4-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. It's Branson against Crichton, and that's a 5-second call. So solid defense by the Indiana commit, Luke Crichton. Oh, no, they get a timeout. Okay, no turnover. My bad.
Yeah, coach wants to draw up the play, took the timeout, gets them in the huddle. All right, now it's just, gentlemen, keep doing what you're doing. Keep the pressure on. Our defensive intensity is there on the offensive end. We're shooting a pretty quality percentage at 53% from the floor, 50% beyond the arc.
Today's matchup between between Orchard Lake St. Mary's and East Lansing. Sorry, it's been a long day.
We're in East Kentwood.
I know. Yes. It's brought to you by Taylor's Home Care Service, proudly serving individuals with physical and mental disabilities in West Michigan and in the area since 2012. The mission of Taylor's Home Care Services is to promote a comfortable place for growth. Welcome back, Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day. 10-point game, 20 seconds left. What are you looking for if you're East Kentwood?
You want to kind of hold it, make sure you got the last shot. And here they go, running their motion offense.
Essel with it. To the cutter. Laying good by Torbert with 4 seconds left. And a turnover by St. Mary's on the baseline pass from Quincy Wright.
Yeah, and that's just worst case scenario for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but great play by East Lansing, getting it to your high flyer, letting him get to the rim, and then Quincy Wright just had nobody to inbound it to and stepped over the line.
Inbound right block, out of bounds. Eaglets defend it well. Kemp knocks it out of bounds. Perhaps a lob play could be called for here with some of the high flyers we've seen.
Yeah, look at this. Just great extension to get it away from the shot blocker.
2 seconds, 1 second at the horn, and that's how the half will end. But it's a 12-point lead for the boys from East Lansing as the Trojans take advantage of 54% shooting from the floor and limit the Eaglets to under 30%. Sam Stick Day, your thoughts in this first half?
Well, St. Mary's, we discussed it. Without Trey McKinney, who are they going to go to? And I still don't think we have an answer to that question. For East Lansing, it's just same old, same old. Keep rolling with everybody with an initial. JL's got his 12 points. Tolbert's getting on the scoreboard. They're playing incredible defense. They're doing what they have to do, and I love it. You know what? St. Mary's #1 team in the state, arguably. They're not healthy. Doesn't matter. We're still coming at you with everything we got.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
What's up, y'all? Darrell Brooks here, guard at the University of Michigan. My favorite memory from the Gotta Get It Hoop Classic is being able to play against other top talent across the state. Make sure y'all slide to East Kenwood on January 11th for more.
Welcome back to East Kentwood High School. At the break, it's East Lansing in this battle of top 5 teams with a 12-point lead over Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the defending state champion in Division I. Very special guest joins us now. It's none other than the former Michigan Stater, former professional basketball player, Detroit Piston, and former national champion, Mateen Cleaves. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Things are a little different when you're looking at it when you're watching your son. I can only imagine. Your son's a freshman, and he's really doing some great things as a 9th grader. What's it like to sit back to watch him play basketball as a dad and as a fan?
You get a little nervous, for your child, but it's exciting. He's been working hard, his whole life, for these moments. And, as a freshman, you have your ups and downs, and but he loves it. He loves working at it. And for me and my wife and our family, man, we really get a kick out of getting a chance to come watch him play.
He's fun to watch and fun to call, and I know it's still early for him. Talk about your experience with Mike Thomas and the Gotta Get It Classic and the respect you have for him. Despite coming from rival towns, a lot of respect between Flint and Saginaw. I know you have high regard for what he does for young men and women.
I really do, man. I really do. I love Mike. Like you said, being from Saginaw, we're like cousins. We are right down the street from each other. But what he does for kids is amazing. I've seen him impact kids for years. So whatever he's doing, I'm gonna be a part of it, man, because it's coming from a pure spot, and he really genuinely loves and cares about these babies, man. So whenever he's doing something to help the kids out, I'm definitely be a part of it. But he's a great guy, great coach, great person.
You're at United Wholesale Mortgage.
Yes.
Tell us about your role, and are you having fun doing it?
I love it, man. Matt Ishbia, man, our CEO, is my brother, man. We met at Michigan State, and owner of the Phoenix Suns, and it's just fantastic. We got a heck of a culture there, man. The same culture that we had at Michigan State when we won a championship. It's the same thing in the mortgage industry, and it starts with our CEO, Matt Ishbia, and my role is Director of Leadership Coaching and Motivation. So making our leaders better every day, making our team members better every day, and it's been such a joy and an honor, man, to work at UWM. It's the best place in America to work at. So if you're looking for a job, come to UWM, baby. We got you.
State champion in high school.
Yeah.
National champion, obviously a winner. You know what it takes in this state for guys to feel like a winner and to get there, and what it would take. What's the state of basketball at the high school level at Michigan now, with all these guys now having opportunities for prep schools and other things? The guys that have stayed in this state have kept it rich with talent, right?
100%. We do lose some kids to prep school, but Michigan always has been great, you know, with basketball. The tradition is, I mean, amazing. You think about the years, I mean, before I was even born, you know, until now. Michigan has basketball players. We're known all over the country for playing basketball, you know, so it's there. We still got a lot of talent. I'm in awe, man, just watching, you know, Andre Hudson. That's my old Cam Hudson, and Kingston Thomas, and, you know, Tover. We're all family, you know, and to see these kids, you know, how far they've come from being puppies to see them now on the big stage, man, it's just amazing, and having the joy watching it. But we still have a lot of talent here in Michigan.
Let's talk about that. Some of your former teammates have children that are playing for East Lansing. Go ahead and talk through all the guys that have the ties to you in the Michigan State program.
I mean, you watching Kingston Thomas, I mean, he's had an amazing first half. You know, I'm going to have to kick his butt because he's doing it.
And his father is?
David Thomas, national champion. Then you got Andre Hudson, Cam Hudson.
Of course.
Another national champion come from that pedigree. And Kevin Toe, we all know how great he was as a player.
We were talking about his bunnies earlier.
Yeah, and watching KJ, you know what he's doing, man. It's been amazing to watch them, man. It's exciting to come see them. I mean, I was changing their diapers, you know, now to see them doing what they're doing, it's been great. They're playing good right now, but they still got a long way to go. But the good thing about them, they're great kids, and they're willing to work to get better. And they all, I think, got bright futures ahead of them.
What do you see in this Orchard Lake St. Mary's team? Obviously, they won a state title last year. They've got some pedigree behind them under Todd Covert. What are you seeing them this year, and what they can do and how far they can go?
I mean, you got to say they still got a chance to win a championship. And, I mean, with Trey, it's a different ball game. You're talking about one of the best players in the country, hands down. You know, when he's on the floor, it's a different ball game. Coach Covert, right now, I think, you know, everybody's kind of trying to find themselves because it's different when everything goes through Trey, you know. So they're trying to find themselves. I think they'll be better in the second half. They'll figure it out. But, I mean, I think they really do have a chance, just from a basketball eye, not being biased, to definitely win it again. There's some great teams this year, but I think they'll be one of the teams fighting to win the championship at the end of it.
Thanks so much for joining
us.
My
man, appreciate
it. Really appreciate it. United Wholesale Mortgage, national champion, state champion. He's a champion in life, and he's coaching kids up and employees up right now. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Right now, it's East Lansing by a dozen over St. Mary's. Stick and I are back with highlights, stats, and much, much more right after this.
Gotta Get It is a nonprofit organization that prioritizes education, creativity, and physical and mental health. We aim to cultivate resilience in youth and young adults so that they are equipped to be the change we need in our communities. We facilitate programs and coordinate projects that provide opportunities for young people to explore their interests, learn useful skills, cultivate social capital, and develop leadership skills in accordance with our mission to create a sense of urgency to accomplish unforeseen goals without making any excuses.
It was the opportunity for her to get the hands-on experience in the kitchen.
It really refuels his passion. He's cooking every day, all day. Every time they make something, he comes home and makes it all over again.
My time to shine. He took over. He got it. Splash.
And that will put some gauze on it.
Thought they were having a lot of fun, dishing it off to each other. The dunks were happening. Just a good time.
Some highlights of the first half of the Gotta Get It Classics final game. East Lansing having their way stick. They're up a dozen. How did they do it?
Really all facets of the game. Started out being 4 of 5 from the three-point line, and they've just parlayed it from there. Started to break down the St. Mary's defense and scoring inside some high-flying plays. St. Mary's responded back a couple of times, but it just hasn't been enough. East Lansing has had their number all night long, and you know, looking at some of the stats, East Lansing shooting 44% beyond the arc, 53% from the field. Conversely, St. Mary's 29% from the field, 20% beyond the arc. And really don't even know what else to say about East Lansing. They have come out here and asserted their dominance from the very tip. St. Mary's kind of fighting back on the defensive side of the ball with 4 steals. Not many turnovers for either team in this game. It's going to be interesting to see what Todd Covert has coming out of the second half, because East Lansing is playing a whale of the ball game here.
We'll see if the Eaglets can have some answers against the Trojans, who have lost just once this year. It's been a strong season for Ray Mitchell's boys, who just keep cruising along. Torbert, their leading scorer on the year, with 24 points a game. Hudson with 18 a game, and Thomas with 9.
Yeah, and Tolbert's only got 4 in this game, so we really haven't even seen the best of him yet.
That's right. From the Capital Area Athletic Conference Blue. Topside 3, rim off, no. Big boy box out, and Savory grabs the board. And Cleves puts KT Thomas on the deck.
KT Thomas had a great first half. He's kind of Mr. Do Everything.
Mateen told us that he used to change his diapers.
Who?
KT Thomas.
Really?
Yeah. David Thomas from Michigan State's son.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know he knows Tolbert well.
Oh, yeah. Learned that at halftime. There's Cleves. Puts it back. Spins.
Ooh.
Rolls to the hoop and scores it. That's Mateen Cleves. He's a 9th grader, and we just talked to his daddy at halftime.
What's crazy about him is how far he grew. What you said, he was 5'8" to start the summer last year, and now he's 6'3". And he's kept those handles. He's kept everything.
And you got the feeling he ain't done growing.
No, he's going to be a special player.
3 ball, and that's through. A tough shot over Quincy, but Cameron Hudson triples, and East Lansing continues to climb that lead. It's up to 13. And from downtown, they've been special. 5 of 11 now. Shot missed from short range. Trojans on the run. Lob ahead. Pass back to the cutter. Rejected by Quincy. Out of bounds to the Trojans.
And the Trojans saw a chance to get a nice, easy layup. Quincy kind of spoils the party, but here you get a nice look at Cameron Hudson knocking down the three-pointer. A beautiful high release on that shot.
In the paint, Banker no good. Thomas to goal line left for 2 shots.
This is actually their first free throws of the game.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Eaglets have had some good performances from the free throw line. They're 7 of 8. But the Trojans have hit their jump shots. That's the tournament. And yeah, we had an upset alert, and it happened. But how about it? 5 games in the books. The last one that you and Evan called, a solid one, Northview won over Warren Lincoln, the state champion last year in Division II. And we've got the state champion in Division I last year, St. Mary's, against the Trojans, who are having their way with them right now. Ray Mitchell's group looking sharp and cohesive.
Yeah, and they're doing it on both sides of the ball, too. They're not just trying to put on a show offensively. They are playing tough man-to-man defense.
Near steal there. Zip Hines elbow jumper. Count it for Zip Hines, number 11.
But see, even that's a tough jump shot to hit for Zip Hines because they switched off of him as soon as he beat the defender in front of him.
Hines with 10 points, Wright with 4. Nobody else with more than 3. 3 ball, right wing, ring out, no. Tip back, good. And that is Torbert again.
There are very few players in the state that can catch that ball and get it up the way Tolbert did. That's an amazing athletic play.
Eaglets could use Barnes and his scoring ability. Just 3 points in this game, Stick. Hines finds the corner. Cleves fakes and drives. Quincy from 17. No good. Sherrod Barnes will earn 2 shots, line right.
Earned indeed, and that's the thing. East Lansing is just making everything so tough, so hard to do. offensively.
Did you get one of the birthday Rice Krispies that Janice Westfall made?
I did not.
These are for Chris Armani Rose. And
or Stick.
Well, not really. These are Chris's birthday treats. Now, we're going to share with the group. Look at the birthday boy. He's yawning down there. Everybody gets one. They're delicious.
I'm going to steal one before Austin Sonnenberg throws them away.
Thank you, Janice. There he is. All the jokes are funny when you're delirious, like Chris Armani Rose. Look at him. Free throws are made, both of them, by Barnes. Eaglets within a dozen. Pass nearly stolen by Zip. Hudson high on the left. Now Wyndham between the rings.
Yeah, they like this matchup with Hudson on Savory. Nice backdoor cut.
Lob down low, blocked by Wright. Branson had it blocked. Cleaves faked the three again. Wright down low, had it stripped from behind by Torbert. 3-on-2 developing. Wyndham to the hole, layup no good. Tap back no good. And out of bounds, East Lansing will keep it. It was off of Savory. There's a lid on that thing.
Yeah, Branson with a great defensive play on the other end for East Lansing. He was beat by size down there with Quincy Wright, and he was able to strip that ball low.
KT Thomas for three, and a stare into the eyes of Quincy Wright. And the lead climbs back to 15.
KT Thomas has been feeling it since the very first quarter. He got locked in early.
Leading scorer with 13. Barnes missed the bunny. Quincy Wright gets the stick back. Quincy Wright with 6 points in 5 rebounds now. Timeout Todd Covert, timeout on the floor, timeout Prep. We're back in a moment to the Gotta Get It Classic. Thanks for watching tonight from East Kentwood. Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. That's Ray Mitchell, 6th-season head coach. Coached at Lansing Sexton for 13 years, the JV and varsity assistant levels. Class of '92, played a year at Eastern Michigan, and he was the student support monitor, still is, at East Lansing High School. And he's one of 10 Division I basketball players in his family. How about that kind of bloodline and pedigree and lineage?
That's an amazing statistic. How does that happen? 1 of 10 basketball players in his family, D1?
Get me in that gene pool. 9-1, 5-0 out of the CAAC Blue.
Imagine how good those family pickup games are.
Oh, there's blood.
The Prep should go to those games. I'm sure those are amazing. And you know they're not calling fouls.
No, the St. Louis commit Hudson, no good. Over the back, kept alive by Branson, who's got offers from Hutchinson, Pensacola, Ranger, Indian Hills. He's going to go the community college route. Kingston Thomas with a Toledo offer, and that's easy to believe.
Yeah, they got athletes up and down the roster for East Lansing.
13-point game. Savory with a couple big man. A nice little two-man, big-man game, and it's lost out of bounds back to East Lansing.
Yeah, and I think Savory was a little too giving on that take. He dropped it off to Quincy Wright, but that gave the defense a chance to gather and double-team him down in the post. So I'd be a little more aggressive if I was Jaden Savory and take that straight up. It's amazing how much Tolbert looks like his dad as well.
Yeah, he does. Branson with 13 on the timer. Back out to Hudson, though. Stick back. Who else? Torbert. with the offensive rebound and score.
It just seems like he's at the height of his jump while that ball is in the air, and he knows how to time it perfectly. Jaden Savory with a 3.
Not usually in his repertoire. Stolen away. Lob, Torbert hammers it down. Quincy Wright the other way. And he's fouled.
St. Mary's is like, okay, you know what? If you're going to be dunking on us and we're down by 17, let's try to throw down some highlights too. But here you see the alley-oop to Tolbert, and boy, oh boy, can that young man get up.
Got offers from Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, UAD, Bowling Green, and Old Dominion.
Well, as you know, I'm a big fan of the UAD Titans.
Yes, you're a backer. Tied and true.
Listen, you only go to one college, right?
That's right. No, there's nothing wrong with backing. It's a fine institution. We'll spend some time there this year.
There you see another look at that alley-oop. Shout out to Dan Hasty, also the voice of the Whitecaps, who works for the Titans.
Absolutely. And Jeremy Otto.
Big fan.
High on the left, Torbert's going to step into a 3 and splash it. Oh, he's coming on. He had 4 at half. You told us he averages 24. He heard you. The Trojans are up 20.
Yeah, and that was the scary part for St. Mary's, right? You held him to 4, and you were still down by double digits. Now, if he explodes, it's going to get out of control.
Explosion underway. He's got 13 to tie his teammate Thomas for the team high. Peyton Kemp is fouled in the left wing.
Yeah, you could tell he's locked in too after that three-pointer. You get the alley-oop, and you get the three-pointer.
Yeah.
Living right.
See that St. Mary's bench. Todd Covert, his associate head coach Leonard Karshian, his 34th season at Orchard Lake.
No better man than Len Karshian.
No, sir. Marcus Webster, an assistant as well.
Get a look at some excited fans.
It's been an exciting 6 games. Quincy Wright will check in. Luke Crichton will check into the ball game. Quincy Wright checks out.
Having fun, taking in some basketball at East Kentwood, and I mean, what a great tournament this was today. Every year it seems like this thing just gets better and better. They add little things to it to make it, but the fact that you can have 6 high school basketball games run this smoothly
speaks to the organization, the creativity, and the execution of this event led by the Thomases.
and the respect people have for that. You know, they know when they come here what they're going to get, and that's earned.
Mike and Tetrick Thomas. Rims off, no. Kemp with the rebound and the push on the run at mid-strike. Peyton to Savory with a reverse score.
You know, St. Mary's has been having trouble in their half-court set, so they're just trying to get out and run and get some points on the board. It's 16. You never know what can happen. But, man, it has been tough to stop East Lansing today.
Savory with 8 points, the second high scorer on this team in this game. Hines with 10. Crichton out to harass Torbert. Steal by Crichton, and then a foul on Torbert, a frustration foul. That'll be just the 4th team foul of this quarter.
Yeah, Tolbert wants to get going, and he is going. I mean, 5 straight points for him. And you see Crichton just playing good man-to-man defense, gets the steal, and then the reach in there. But then the slide on the knees for Crichton. If you ever played basketball on one of these floors, you know about that knee slide.
That's right. He knows sliding as a baseball player, committed to Indiana. As you get a look at Trey McKinney out of this ball game and out for possibly 2 weeks with a left-hand injury. Savory on the slip screen and the finish from Cleves.
And that's where St. Mary's has their advantage with the big men. They should be using them more often. And I was talking to Pat the Stat at halftime, and he asked me what my strategy would be, and that would be it. Try to pound East Lansing down low and get them in foul trouble, because East Lansing is showing you they can beat you on the perimeter.
They can beat you on the bounce, too. Torbert doesn't there. Crichton with a big boy rebound. 7 seconds to go. Luke on the push. Looks ahead and is fouled on the pass attempt. That's the 5th foul. That means Crichton will shoot 2 free throws with just 3 seconds left.
And trying to get it down to Jaden Savory, who was running the floor. A reach-in foul there will send him to the line.
The foul is on J.L. Branson. Luke Crichton, who took last year off of basketball to focus on baseball. Let's get a look at Todd Covert, the bench boss, in his 10th year. Todd went to St. Mary's, 92 graduate, and was the coach of the year last year in the MHSAA as his team was led to the promised land in the Breslin Center with a state championship in his back pocket. But right now his Eaglets trail by 13 as we go to the 4th quarter. And it's that East Lansing Trojan train that keeps a running on the west side of the state. Stick and I are back with more right after this.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Today's game is proudly sponsored by Miller Johnson Attorneys. It's where the growth of Michigan is at the core of our practice. Catch them at 45 Ottawa Avenue Southwest. In Grand Rapids, 49503. We've had fun on the west side of the state today. Some will stay, some will go home. But there's a 4th quarter left. Nobody's going anywhere right now.
And it's interesting when you look at the stats, the assists are similar, the rebounds are similar, the turnovers are similar. What's really different? The shooting percentage. St. Mary's at 14% beyond the arc, 43% for East Lansing.
Sherrod Barnes, who has struggled in this game, just 1 of 8, gets off the schneid there with a big bucket. Eaglets with an 11, but just like that, J.L. Branson gets loose on that baseline.
And East Lansing is an above-the-rim team. I think they got 4 or 5 guys out there right now that can throw it down.
You're not kidding. Corner, Crichton, 3, splash city for Luke. And the Eaglets have cut this thing back to a 10-point game.
And that's something St. Mary's has been sorely missing this year, is that corner 3 shot. They had Smith and Smythe last year to knock it down. This year they're hoping Crichton may be able to fill that role.
Yeah, and of course with no Trey tonight, who had that 37-point game. They're missing that 3-point threat. Down the avenue, shot is blocked by Savory, and Crichton hits Torbert as Hudson is slow to get up.
Getting a little physical now, but St. Mary's showing some fight in this game. East Lansing, my goodness, just straight up and down with that basketball. And then you're seeing the tough action going on here. You see Crichton get some of Tolbert's wrist.
Woo. Splash City, that's Cameron Hudson again with a deep dagger, his 3rd of the night.
And nothing but the bottom of the net. I mean, that was about as pure of a jump shot as you're ever gonna see.
Zip Hines draws the foul. It was a hold, and it came by way of Branson.
Yeah, they're gonna call a reach in on Branson there. Zip Hines kind of got bailed out, a little out of control going into the lane.
That's Branson's 3rd foul.
There you see that beautiful jump shot by Hudson. 6'6", high release. Nice looking shot.
Really is. 3 fouls for each of the big 3 for East Lansing. Hudson, Torbert, and Branson. See if that becomes a storyline. Eaglets looking to cut this to a 10-point game, and Zip Hines has done that. He's had the lion's share of the scoring tonight. Give him 11. Give him 12. Six and a half left. Eaglets hang their hat on their defense, and some intense defense here by Crichton.
And Branson has been politicking with the official on this sideline. He does not like the physicality that Crichton has given him.
Inbound to Wyndham. Wyndham, a guy who offers 7 points, but he's their top assist man with 5, and that's the push-off. J.L. Branson and Crichton suckered him into it and might have embellished a bit. Eaglets get it back to the crafty play of Crichton.
Crafty is right. You see him arguing with the official, telling him, hey, he's holding me, and then he gets physical with you trying to come off and get that ball. That was a setup. We call that entrapment.
That's his 4th.
And that's a huge foul. I mean, with 6 minutes left in this 10-point game, getting him off the floor for East Lansing is a tough blow. He has played a tremendous game.
Zip Hines setting it up, 6 minutes to go. Attack, Barnes to the hole, and he lays it in. It's an 8-point game, and Sherrod starting to come to life on the offensive end.
Yeah, it looks like Coach is going to check Hudson right back in, or Branson right back in.
Hudson with it, 8 points on the night. Now the handoff, DQ Stewart back to Thomas, who had it knocked away by Sherrod, regathered down low, lay in good. That's DeQuarius DQ Stewart for 2.
Yeah, broken plays going East Lansing's way, but they're making it all happen.
Savory had it blocked, got it back, power layup, good, and a foul. Jaden Savory took the bang, he did the hang and the finish.
I thought he got a little way with a little shuffle of the shoes there, but
sure he did.
Watch the feet right there, little slide.
Yep.
But the officials didn't see it. They were looking up top for the contact, and that's what they called.
So quick of a slide, nobody caught it.
With those
Except
bright
you.
shoes, it's tough to miss. Almost works against you with those bright shoes.
So we've got a 7-point game. Eaglets not going anywhere without their All-American and the back-to-back Michigan Player of the Year, Trey McKinney, out. Eaglets still fighting. We're back with the finale after this.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
The Gotta Get It Classic, we're having some fun. We're so glad you've joined us. Today's event is brought to you by the Gotta Get It, a nonprofit organization that prioritizes education, creativity, and physical and mental health. Gotta Get It facilitates programs and coordinates projects that provide opportunities for both youth and adults. Back to the action, Chad and Sam Stick Day. It's down to a 7-point game. It was once a 20-point game. And a scrum underneath the bucket. Torbert had it. And somehow the Trojans back it out and slow down. Ball stolen away by Crichton. Torbert got sped up. Eaglets have played great defense. They're up 5-on-4 right now. Hines down the boulevard. Kick out Crichton. 4-3. Splash City. Oh, Luke with a long one. And the Eaglets have cut it to 4.
Yeah, it's almost like St. Mary's lulled them into a sense of comfortability. And I think we were all seeing the same thing. East Lansing was asserting their dominance, but now St. Mary's picked it up on the defensive end. Coach needs a timeout to talk this over because Crichton's getting hot from the corners, and they need to address that here at East Kentwood.
The Eaglets with a 15-6 advantage in the 4th on the Crichton triple, his 2nd of the game.
Gotta Get It is a nonprofit organization that prioritizes education, creativity, and physical and mental health. We aim to cultivate resilience in youth and young adults so that they are equipped to be the change we need in our communities. We facilitate programs and coordinate projects that provide opportunities for young people to explore their interests, learn useful skills, cultivate social capital, and develop leadership skills in accordance with our mission to create a sense of urgency to accomplish unforeseen goals without making any excuses.
We are the Prep. This is a primetime matchup, and we'd love to cover your team as well. Reach out, info@theprepsports.com. We'll let you know what it takes. And if you could, please, could you subscribe to this, our very YouTube channel? We very much appreciate that. Follow us on our social media. Austin Sonnenberg, our social media director, doing great work on audio tonight and also on social media every day and all night. So we got a 4-point game stick. What in the world does East Lansing need to do now offensively?
The same thing they were doing the entire first half, and that's exactly it. Use your size, get down low, and force your way to the hoop. I mean, they've been knocking down three-pointers. They've been pretty much having their way. I just feel like once they got up 20, they kind of took the foot off the gas, and sometimes it's hard to get back up to that RPM.
Indeed. Barnes lobs it up front to Hines. Zip attacks, spins in the paint, tough shot. Grazed the front of the rim. Hudson with a 2-on-1 run out. Torbert with a slam. And a whistle and a technical foul, I believe, on Torbert.
Yeah, see, I don't know if they should call that technical because Crichton was coming in underneath him. He had to hang on the rim for his own safety. See, look, he can't come down right now. He'd come right down on Crichton.
Yep, you're right about that.
I think that's the right call. But there you go. I mean, look at St. Mary's was right back in the game. And look at two big hoops, an alley-oop. East Lansing's just got to remember who they are and what got them that 20-point lead. Now they're slapping the floor on defense. You love to see that out of B.J. Wyndham.
4-0 run for the Trojans after the Eaglets cut it to 4 on the Crichton triple. Sherrod getting warm. Kick out, corner. Cleaves three, no good. It's an air ball. Well defended and closed out by Thomas. Thomas against Cleaves, got it. Splash City. They'll call it a long two. It's a 6-0 Trojan run. And a great response from East Lansing.
A championship response from East Lansing.
Crichton with an answer. Got it again. Oh, Luke, the future Hoosier, with a big night off the bench. 3 of 4 from downtown, give him 10. And the third Eaglet in double figures. Eaglets cut it to 8. And a whistle and a foul on the perimeter. You know, it's a timeout before. My bad.
Yeah, which really looked like it took away a layup for East Lansing. They were able to break it down. But, you know, you wish you would have seen this fight out of St. Mary's from the start of the game. It's kind of like they knew they didn't have Trey McKinney, so it was, okay, we're just going to go out here and go through the motions. But now they figured out, hey, this is still a basketball game, and we can still compete if we give it our all. But East Lansing, when they decide to turn it on, they are a machine.
We've seen it tonight, and we've seen it all year, just the one loss this season. Chris Armani Rose,
Hey.
Happy birthday, Chris. There he is. Yeah, happiest guy in the business. Look at him cheesing it up.
All he wants for his birthday, I'll let 2 Chainz tell you.
Yeah, some good, so of course he's got some good puppies on. Chris is having fun. He's the best. Camera 3 operator supreme, video editor, does it all, man. He even tolerates Austin Sonnenberg's driving.
And honestly, an incredible cinematographer. Some of the shots that he gets is really great.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Austin is a mensch. He drives and allows me to do some work.
Throws away good barbecue.
Yeah, you'll never forgive him for that, will you? That was the PSL championship in football?
2024.
How long are you going to hold that grudge?
Until I get my barbecue.
All right. You better get Smokey G's back in the game. You better get redemption, man. All right, Trojans with an 8-point lead. They once led by 20 in this game. Eaglets got it down to 4 a couple minutes ago. But the run by the Trojans has broken open just a bit. Late call, but the right call as Hudson attacked. Contact below, 2 shots coming for the future Billiken.
And Crichton does not agree, but you can see right here, he gets in and gets all forearm. I don't know why you would dispute that call, but.
2 fouls for Crichton. The Eaglets have not fouled much in this game. Crichton with 2, Savory with 2, nobody else with more than 1. Meanwhile, 4 fouls for J.L. Branson, 3 for Torbert, and 3 for Hudson. There's all the games that have happened, and what a day it's been. We thank Mike Thomas and Miss T. Thomas for having us here once again. 4th straight year. What a pleasure it is. Crichton to the corner, Sherrod for 3. Eaglets need it, don't get it. Big boy rebound from Branson. And the Trojans trying to close it out here. Right wing 12-footer, got it. That's Cameron Hudson at 6'6", the senior. And it's back to a 12-point bump.
And you said he's being recruited by whom?
Who's that?
Hudson.
Hudson's committed to the Billikens of St. Louis, University of St. Louis.
Oh, they got themselves a player.
Yeah, they do.
I honestly think he is one of the better players I've seen this year in the state. The way he releases the ball, his poise, his confidence, the way he can jump out of the gym. I mean, he's going to grow into a really nice player for somebody.
18 points, 9 rebounds a game, and yeah, they got a steal in the Valley.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. So, East Lansing by 11. By 9, rather. Time running out, though, 70 seconds left. Eaglets fighting for the steal. Ball on the floor, bodies on the floor. 65 seconds left.
Tolbert gets trapped in the corner. Way to get it out.
There's a steal. Sherrod Barnes. Pull up, dead spot right. 3, counted and a foul. 4-point play opportunity as Sherrod comes back and shakes some sugar late in the game.
And you got to respect that decision by Sherrod Barnes. I mean, he gets ahead, but you see they got defenders out there, and you know they can protect the rim. I mean, that is just an untimely foul, especially if Sherrod can knock down this free throw and make it a 5-point game. And, you know, this is where the shot clock comes into play. It's not like normal Michigan basketball where they can just dribble it out for 55 seconds. You got to foul, you got to do all that. Now, all you got to do is play solid defense and see if you can cut it to 1 possession.
We saw a 4-point play in the IMG game in the St. Mary's 3.
Yep, early in the first quarter with Trey.
Yep. Sherrod Barnes, very good free throw shooter, drains it. It's a 5-point game, 55 seconds left. The fives are wild, and he's Kentwood. Pressure in the backcourt. Sherrod Barnes and Cleaves. The lob ahead is a throwaway. East Lansing tried to get cute, alley-oop it to Branson, and they throw it away. And the Eaglets have a chance after this poor decision by the Trojans.
Yeah, because that was well defended. Even if that pass was going to be there, Jaden Savory was standing underneath the basket, ready to undercut who was jumping to go get it. So, you know, obviously you would have liked to use the shot clock there, you know, run this down to about 8 seconds or try to force St. Mary's. But here you go. St. Mary's has the ball, 42 seconds left, down 5 points. Any score here makes it a 1-score game.
I think they're going to add some time on the clock in this game. And, yeah.
Let's see if they match Rob Hunter.
Of course they did. The Hunt man's running the show tonight. 42.9 seconds left. So, 5-point game. Sherrod Barnes in his 4-point play, and he's coming to life late. Sherrod with 13 for three. Zip Hines, and he got it. Cuts it to a 2-point game. The run by the Eaglets from the long line, and don't go anywhere. With 30 seconds left, Mike Thomas says, we got a ball game.
And you know, that's Orchard Lake St. Mary's showing their championship resolve from last year. This time you get Zip Hines taking the big shot and making it 32 seconds left on the clock. So the shot clock is no longer available, 35 seconds. So St. Mary's is either going to have to try to get a steal here or send them to the free throw line. But with that big three-pointer, now odds are a lot better.
A 9-0 Eaglet run. It was an 11-point game with just over a minute to go. But St. Mary's, with the Crichton shot and the three-pointer, the Barnes three-pointer and one, and now the Barnes three-pointer again. And just like that, it's a 2-point game.
It's going to be fun to see what happens down the run. Austin Sonnenberg, a little put off by some action in the gym, but I don't think it's going to affect the game the way you think it will, Austin. But either way, St. Mary's, East Lansing, you knew it was going to be a battle of two heavyweights, and it's good to see St. Mary's show up here in the second half, because as much as East Lansing was running away with it, I'm sure, like I said, they were kind of getting bored, and then they took their foot off the pedal.
All this was St. Mary's without the two-time Michigan Player of the Year in Trey McKinney, and the 24 points a game he offers, and of course the Michigan commit, the all-time leading scorer. Eaglets doing it without it, but they want to close it out. So does East Lansing, who's played a whale of a game until these late parts. 3 team fouls for both clubs. St. Mary's had 1 to give, that was it, and it takes a second and a half to do.
Well, here you go. They're going to have to get one more foul to send them to the free throw line. But I don't like just going straight for the foul. I always love trying to steal for about 5 seconds, especially with 28 seconds left in this game. There's no need to foul right away. Force your opponent to have to make a decision and make a move.
Inbound coming from Branson, from right in front of us, to the backcourt. Zip Hines pressuring the ball. Near travel, no call. And now the Eaglets will have to hustle to foul with 18 seconds left. It'll be Crichton with a foul. That'll be his 3rd. But that will stop the clock, and that will put East Lansing at the line. +2 with 17 seconds left with 2 shots.
But I think St. Mary's played that right. They went for the foul. They could have gotten maybe a slide to the shoes right here. You're going to see, look at, no, he was able to keep his pivot foot, so that was a good non-call. But a miss at the free throw line. And here we go.
2-point game.
Now here's what I don't understand, and we've seen it a lot in Michigan high school basketball. Nobody rebounding for the opposing team.
Free throw is good. It's a 3-point game. 17 seconds left. 1 timeout left for St. Mary's. Sherrod Barnes with the basketball. Headed to Western Michigan. Double team. Pull up to tie the game. Short. Rebound attempt. Pulled off by the Trojans, and the Eaglets have to foul with 4 seconds to go.
And now just sink one of them, and this game is wrapped up. East Lansing with great defense on that possession. They went and doubled Sherrod Barnes when he came off that screen, and they were able to keep him from getting a clean look at the basket. And then coming down with that rebound, massive as well.
So Thomas to shoot 2. And this would essentially end the game if he can hit just one of them, and he just did. The Trojans have reached 69 points, trying to get to 70 to close it out with 4 seconds to go to get their 10th win of the year.
And do you think that locks him up for G of the game?
Missed the shot, 4-point game, 4 seconds left. Zip Hines at the horn, and he drills it. So it'll be a 1-point victory for East Lansing. The Eaglets get a late bucket from Hines to make it look really tight. And in the end, it's a 1-point win, 69 to 68.
Yeah, if you're East Lansing, you got to feel good about the way you started this game. Absolutely took control of it, but then you got to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, once we got up 20, we let them back into this game. And then conversely, if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you're thinking, man, if we just would have tried as hard as we did in that fourth quarter, we could have won this.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Well, we got a dandy here tonight. East Lansing holds on to starve off the St. Mary's push in the end, and the guy who had the clinching free throws and the high score joins us now. The 10th grader, KT Thomas, birth name Kingston.
Yep.
You got a cool birth name, man.
Thank you.
And initials. How about the win tonight? It wasn't always easy. It looked like it might. You guys got up 20, and you held on in the end. What was this game like for you? Kind of an emotional roller coaster.
It was like really one of my first big games, so it felt good to come out here, do what I do. But then also for the team, we were all just working on all cylinders, you know. One more passes we were getting early in the game, and then and then also we do gotta work on our holding out our lead, because we gave up that lead. We could have had this game way easier than what we had it.
What's it like playing with guys that have experience, seniors, guys like Torbert and Branson and Hudson, and fitting in as a 10th grader? What's it been like? How have these guys been in accommodating that?
They're really just like my big brothers, helping me out as much as they can with plays since I'm pretty new. They help me out with getting all these plays done, as well as just getting me better. I want to be as good as them, get up to their level, so they just fuel me.
You're one of the sons of former Michigan Staters on this team. Is it 4 or 3?
3 of us.
KJ Torbert, of course, Cameron Hudson, and you.
Yep.
What's it like? Your dads play together. Now you guys are all playing together. Do you guys talk about this a lot?
Sometimes we do. I mean, it's just so cool to like Michigan State likes to bring their guys back. So all of us being together is just bringing MSU blood back.
It's pretty sweet, man. 6 of 8 from the floor, very efficient, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Just a 10th grader, KT Thomas. Keep an eye on him. Congratulations, our G of the game.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stick and I are back to wrap this up, put the baby to bed from East Kentwood. It's been a night. Glad you've joined us. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep.
My time to shine. Got it. Splash.
And that will put some gauze on it.
Thought they were having a lot of fun, dimshing it off to each other. The dunks were happening, just a good time.
Welcome back to the Gotta Get It Classic. 6 games up, 6 games down. It was a treat. And they led us to a game in the end that was all billed and hyped up. They let us down, and then they brought us back up, Stick. This one finished the way it should have, and we were happy to witness it.
Yeah, you wondered what St. Mary's was going to do without their all-world player, Trey McKinney. They came out a little flat. They showed that they could play as a team in the end. But East Lansing, my goodness, not enough superlatives to talk about the athletes that they have, the balanced scoring that they have. You got 16, 14, 14, 17. No matter who it is, that is tough to go up against. And just great defensive effort, high-flying, fun to watch, above-the-rim team. So East Lansing came in and they did their thing today. They should be very proud.
St. Mary's got some balanced scoring as well, albeit late. 18 points for Isaiah Hines to lead the way. 3 13-point scores. Luke Crichton coming off the bench to hit 4 triples.
Now that's huge for St. Mary's. They need somebody like that in their lineup. That's been their struggle early in the season, not being able to hit that outside corner 3. And that could be their solution.
It could. Well, we're happy and proud to be able to put 6 games together. It takes a big team in production. Very proud of this team that just continues to grind and work. You're a huge part of it. So is our entire roster that worked 6 straight games today. Starting with our captain, we couldn't do it without him, Alex Westfall, the executive producer.
Westy!
Yeah, even brought treats today.
Mrs. Westy.
Janice, yes, she's G of the game as well. Evan Westfall on replay, Rob Hunter on graphics, Austin Sonnenberg on audio and on social media. Sam Fisher on a camera, Chase Kaufman on a camera. He also worked production. Chris Armani Rose, 29 years young, my man. You behave yourselves tonight on the streets of Grand Rapids. Yeah, you're with me? Well, you behave yourself and make sure I behave then. Also want to thank Pat the Stat and Jamie Janssen for doing their thing on stats, the best stat crew in the state, no doubt. Evan Stockton, who did he did color commentary, he did play-by-play, did a fabulous job. Left us for the 6th game, but we appreciate his hard work. And the closer that came in, Sam Stick Day on color commentary, doing some great work. Always a pleasure to work with you, man.
Hey.
Thanks for rolling out.
Thanks for having me. It's always great at the Gotta Get It Classic. Seems to get better year after year, and every year we're invited. It's a pleasure.
It's a ton of fun. We couldn't do it without Mike Thomas and Tetrick Thomas. Thank you to the Gotta Get It Classic, Mikey Wolford as well, all the folks behind the scenes. Thanks again to all of you for watching on our YouTube channel. Once again, your final score in the finale, 69 for East Lansing, 68 for St. Mary's. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep. So long, everybody.